now listening to the Jca Sports Podcast on Spotify and Anchor.
Yeah, what's up, everybody? The Jca Sports Podcast here, brought to you by the Star 6 Media. And make sure you guys follow us on all our social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, all that good stuff on the Star 6 Media platform. The Jca Sports Podcast will be live every Wednesday here at 9 o'clock. And also follow all our other episodes, too, under the Star 6 Media platform. We have a great show here for you guys today. As you see, I'm rolling with my man right here, Jose. What's going on, Jose?
What's up, Eric? How you doing, man?
None much. We got a lot to talk about.
Yes,
it's
sir.
nothing but trades, grades, and a whole bunch of holy bleep. Let's put it like that. We're going to go around the NBA too as well later on. And our almost dropped my phone. And our best bets of the week too as well for the weekend. Try to help you guys win some cash money, no matter whatever gambling site that you use. Jonathan Pelayo isn't here with us today, but it's all good. He'll be on the comment section just like you guys too as well. Putting in the link right now as we speak. That way you guys can join us at any given time to give us your thoughts about what has happened within, what is it now? With the last, 20, 30 some odd hours? The craziest day the NFL could ever have. And you can't even say the NFL is king because in all honesty, Jose, the NFL really never had a trade deadline the way that they did yesterday. And man, it was just a frenzy to where like your phone just kept going off and off and off, just like if you had a toxic girlfriend in between. They're trying to see what the hell are you doing, where you at, all this. Yesterday, man, the NFL, I think it was broken, bro. What do you think?
It wasn't broken. It was working. It was working. I loved it. That they whatever they did, I think they pushed it back. No, they got to keep doing it. Keep doing it. This was great, man. It was a great, like you said, yesterday was amazing. You know, us being Bears fans, we got some great news, and then it just wouldn't stop. You know, as fantasy football owners, we're picking up guys. We're seeing guys get traded left and right to different teams. So it was fun. It was definitely a fun day in the NFL yesterday for sure.
It really was. Like I said, the NFL really doesn't excite during the trade deadline. I think the trade deadline is mainly more for like NBA and baseball, just a little bit, maybe occasional hockey here and there. We'll have a trade deadline where it's just kind of as bonkers as it was yesterday. But the NFL, it hardly has that type of flair for the trade deadline. And I mean, let's go over some of the noticeable trades. Obviously, we'll leave the Bears for last, and then we're also going to give us our grade for that trade too as well. And just like you guys are more than welcome to give us your grades too as well out of all of them that we have. I think let's start with the very first one, to where the one where we kind of, I guess, marinated a little bit, right? If I'm using it correctly, the trade that kind of like started it all off of Christian McCaffrey to the San Francisco 49ers from the Carolina Panthers. And the amount of draft picks that the Panthers received from the 49ers, so second and a third and a fourth round draft pick of this coming up draft in 2023, and a fourth and a fifth round draft pick for the following year, so in 2024. Let's start off with that one since we had time to see McCaffrey in a uniform, in a 49ers uniform, in a couple of games already. Jose, now you have seen it and you look back. What grade would you give the 49ers for Christian McCaffrey and for the Panthers?
I'll give it a solid B for the 49ers. I mean, they just added another amazing weapon to their arsenal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we seen the other day. I mean, he had a touch, he had a passing touchdown, a receiving touchdown, a rushing touchdown. He's doing it for them right now, and it's exactly what you needed. You're freeing up Brandon Ayuk, or you're letting Debo, move around the offense. If you're Trey Lance, you're kicking yourself right now. You're like, damn, man, like I should be out there and I can't be. But Jimmy, they have Jimmy Garoppolo, and he's definitely taking advantage of it. But I'll give them a solid B as far as the Carolina Panthers. I think I'm gonna stick with the B as well. They got draft picks. It sucks when you have to give away your franchise player. The fact that you're even in this situation, if you're the Panthers, it's different than what the Bears are into right now. And I only bring up the Bears because we're in Chicago, right? But it's way different because the Bears came into this knowing exactly what they are and what they were going to do in rebuilding. The Panthers didn't. They started the season with Christian McCaffrey, and they came in with Baker Mayfield thinking he was going to at least turn it around for them, and it just didn't pan out. It's not panning out. I wouldn't be surprised if DJ Moore is gone after the season. So, I mean, B for them for getting those draft picks, but it's, the only reason why I wouldn't give them A is because of the fact that they had to put themselves in this mid-season.
No, for sure. You're definitely right. I mean, you're spot on. You don't give up. I mean, you don't give up Christian McCaffrey, who is like a Saquon Barkley, is a give me another running back that makes a difference in the team, probably like a Todd Gurley in the beginning of his
Derrick Henry.
years. Derrick Henry for Titans, if we want to keep it up to date right now, maybe even Jonathan Taylor, with Indianapolis. It's one of those players where it's just kind of like, yeah, you get why they did it because they're going nowhere and they're just wasting this man's career in Carolina, and you send them. I mean, yes, you send them in the same conference, but you normally don't face them every year. I mean, I think it's only once every 3 or 4 years where you face the 49ers, depending on the schedule. But you're right. I think you're absolutely right. A couple weeks ago, if we would have started with this, I mean, the grade for Christian McCaffrey to the 49ers, I think that would have been a very lower grade. And I think it was given a lower grade to the 49ers doing this trade. And then obviously you're going to give, I think the same grade maintains for the Carolina Panthers because they're rebuilding. But after like 2 games, and especially the game over the weekend on Sunday and the high level game that it was and who they played against, I think that grade has risen up now to, like you said, from a possible D to a low C to possibly even a low A to a high B. And that's where I'm going to stick to it. I think it's going to a high B, like a B plus for the 49ers. It's the rich getting richer. And it's the opportunity where the window for the 49ers is as open as it can be. And also at the same time, it's just like they're going for everything. I mean, look, they gave up a back of the second, a third, and a fourth round for this upcoming draft in 2023. So you know that the 49ers mean business. But you can also do it because no matter what you do with your quarterback situation, you're kind of giving, you're not really paying your quarterback as much as whatever you get paid for Patrick Mahomes or even Josh Allen or quarterbacks like that. It's quarterbacks on the cheap, so you can really, really, really. Oh my God, what's playing on my? Sorry, I hear it on my headphones. You're really giving up a lot for a future quarterback where you can get it for the cheap. So even with Jimmy Garoppolo now, even with Trey Lance later, this team is really set up for success. And yeah, man, it's the rich getting richer. And I'm gonna say this right now. No, you know what? I'll save it for my overreaction. I forgot to tease that one later too. We're gonna get our overreaction for the week as we welcome in CP. CP, what's up, buddy?
CP.
What's up, y'all? What's good? What's good?
It was good,
Not
man. Great to
much,
see
man.
you.
Just going around the NFL. We're talking about trades and grades for just the noticeable trades from the NFL this year. This trade deadline this happened yesterday, man. We're talking about Christian McCaffrey to the 49ers. We had a little time to see it, let it marinate, let it cook for a little bit. Has your grade changed from Christian McCaffrey to the 49ers?
Man, it's looking like that was a good move. I'm not even gonna lie. I know the Rams have been struggling anyway, but still, like you put McCaffrey in that offense, like with Cal Shanahan, with his genius, I'm I'm still scared of them. Like I know I know the Chiefs, kind of embarrassed them last week, but man, San Francisco and the NFC is in disarray anyway, so I know the 49ers will get it together.
No, yeah, definitely for sure. I mean, look, their window is now, and they mean business, and they're taking advantage of a division two where, we thought it was going to be strong with obviously the Rams being there, defending Super Bowl champions, and as wide open as it can be, you're absolutely right. You got the NFC East battling against each other. Only one spot is given for the division round. They get comfortably the number two spot, and then everything else that goes along with it. But yeah, the 49ers, they mean business, and it's going to be a good team to watch all around defense, offense, special teams. This team is probably like the complete package in the NFC conference. As I'm trying to lower down these damn ads that keep playing in my head. I don't know if you guys hear it.
No, we don't hear it.
All
No,
right,
we
cool.
don't.
We
It's
don't hear
just
you
only
go.
me then. All right, continue on the NFL trade deadline here on the JCA Sports Podcast. We're gonna go with again. We're gonna go around, talk about the rich getting richer, but in a sense, maybe it's not as a big of a splash as you think it is. But Kadarius Toney from the New York Giants going to Kansas City, another weapon, another speedster given to Patty Mahomes. They give up a third and a sixth-round draft pick for next year. Jose, your grade for the Kansas City Chiefs getting Kadarius Toney.
I'm gonna say a C minus, man. And the only reason why I'm not giving it a D is because we don't know what Kadarius Toney really is. He had, he's always injured, and he was always injured in New York. He's had potential, but I feel like Kansas City. I feel like Kansas City should have went for someone like Chase Claypool. I think that would have been. I think that would have fitted more their style. They needed more of a threat. I don't know if Kadarius Toney could turn it around, if he can stay healthy and show his explosiveness that we all know he has there at Kansas City. It's a great trade, but it has to happen. And I don't know much about Kadarius Toney because you don't see much Kadarius Toney. So let's see what the Kansas City can get out of him. But I give it a C minus until otherwise.
No, that's actually a good point that you have right there because you're absolutely right. We can't really judge this trade perfectly simply because of the availability of Kadarius Toney. Apparently, I mean, he was a high draft pick for the New York Giants and was supposed to be that guy for Daniel Jones. But you're right. Injuries kept holding him back. We don't know what he is. We know he's a big body receiver with a little speed, and it can help out. It's not Tyreek Hill fast. Hands wise, we don't know, and that's the perfect way to explain this. Jose, is that Kadarius Toney is you just don't know what he is and what can he provide for this Kansas City team offense to where it's like feel like they have a lot of wide receivers, but not that dependable wide receivers. I mean, Juju's coming into his own with Kansas City. You could tell he's the number one wide receiver on this team alongside Travis Kelsey. But it's like it's Juju and then everybody and then who else? And I think that's why they go for Kadarius Toney. CP, am I wrong about this one?
Not at all. Kansas City could never get too many weapons. I'd give it a B minus. I mean, Jose, when you got Daniel Jones as your quarterback, you would probably pretend to be injured a lot too. Yeah,
That's true.
but
CP coming with that fire, but you're right
but,
though.
but I don't see nothing wrong with the move. I mean, it's not like they gave up a lot, and I do see the talent that's there. Yeah, he's been injured a lot, but from the short highlights that I did see, he was the best Giants receiver they had. Like, if you go back and watch the highlights, he is a dynamic player, and he can definitely become the Chiefs' number one. Juju is still there. I know Juju is he's still good. I mean, Hartman's pretty good, but the potential that Kadarius Toney has, I'm not saying he can beat a Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill is one of the fastest people on this planet, but I think he can match like the stats and the talent of a Tyreek Hill. He literally has that potential. Like, you go back and watch from the short period of time he has with the Giants. It's there. I can see why the Chiefs made the move. Like, I give it a B minus. I'm not gonna say it's. I gotta see him get on the field first. Jose, you right. Like, we gotta see him play first. He's been injured a lot, but like I said, when you're with the Giants, it's kind of depressing. And a lot of people pretend to be injured like that.
And it's crazy you say that because finally this year the Giants actually have a decent team. Well, not a
Not
decent
because of
team,
Danny Jones, though.
but a competitive team, right? The resurgence of Saquon Barkley really helps out in that
Saquon is
running game a
scary,
lot.
man.
And whatever you get out of the defense plays well. You could tell that they can that they play for the coach, but how long could that be sustainable is a real question. And losing another wide receiver or losing a wide receiver that you don't know if it was or not a good choice for them is very chaotic. As we go to the Big Creation Facebook comment page, we got Jonathan, Johnny P, Johnny Parlay, Johnny whatever he wants to be, the weakest Batman on Monday with his costume. Saying CP, what's up? He has Josh Allen Super Bowl MVP. He's already going right there. And Jimmy G's getting an extension soon. He also said, were they even rich? Comadre, what's going on? Comadre said, I think it had more to do with his attitude as well. Supposedly he's saying he's not actually hurt. We go down. Supposedly his attitude is very chaotic. I remember when he punched somebody, I believe last year,
Yeah, I
why
can
they
see that.
had
He
a
does have
helmet
a bit of
on.
an attitude problem. He definitely has an attitude problem.
Yeah, so the comadre in there going, what's up, comadre, going on? And
What up,
in the
baby?
comments, going strong on the Big Creation Facebook comment page. Guys, you could join us just like CP2 as well. Just hit the link on the comment section below and join us and give us your thoughts. Or right like the comadre and John are doing right now too as well. Join us, give us your thoughts about the trade deadline too as well. That's what we're talking about right now. Your grades, and we're just getting the noticeable ones. We're not going all of them because damn, there was a lot of trades yesterday happening left, right, all around, up, down, and it was a very unusual day for the NFL and the trade deadline. Another one that was kind of out there, maybe in a sense to where it wasn't that big of a deal, but it's kind of like this is an interesting trade, and it happened within our own division and the Bears division. And T.J. Hawkinson going from Detroit to the Vikings, and not only that the Vikings get the tight end, they also got a 2023 fourth round draft pick and a 2024 conditional fourth round draft pick, and they send over next year's second round draft pick 2023 and 2024 third round draft pick from the Vikings to the Lions. Sorry, this one was a little weird to me simply because again, you don't how often do you trade within not only your own conference but your own division too as well? And not only you trade what's a very reliable and very 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 good tight end in TJ Hawkinson, but you also give it to a team who is in first place in your division. Literally, who I know my answer, but who really won this trade between the Vikings and the Lions? CP.
Minnesota, obviously. I mean, like, look, their offense now: Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, and now T.J. Hawkinson. I mean, you just need a real true quarterback, and it's man.
I swear.
Like, is there an offense in the NFC more dynamic than that? Like, it doesn't get much better than that. Like, Minnesota is proving. I mean, they're already what 6-1.
Yes.
I mean, I know a lot of people aren't talking about them because of First Cousins because he got to prove himself. But man, he has the weapons to do it this year. Defense is looking a little better, but the Vikings should not be slept on in the NFC. Obviously, they're probably going to make the playoffs just because the Packers are so bad this year. But hey, they'll get a home game in the playoffs. They'll probably play off of that. They shouldn't be slept on. They definitely won that trade, and I think they have like the best offense in the NFC in my eyes. I don't see nobody better than that right now.
Yeah, he has a
You're,
point. I agree
you're
with CP.
absolutely right.
I agree with CP 100%. Eric, the Vikings. Paulina says it perfectly. The Vikings needed another weapon. Irv Smith was on the IR. They bring in, here comes TJ Hawkinson, who I think is a better tight end than Irv Smith is.
Like without question.
This guy is legit. And like you said, CP, an offense like this, he's only going to thrive a lot more. Kirk Cousins has no excuse. None. No excuse this year. Like, bro, you have it all.
Right.
Like, you have everything we wish Justin Fields had here in Chicago. You have it. The Vikings should definitely make it deep in the playoffs. I can even see them going to the NFC Championship with this team as long as Kirk Cousins does what he's supposed to do. Eric, Vikings win this trade hands down.
That's it. That's an interesting choice too, as well. And I think we'll probably get into a little playoff prediction picture later on in the season for sure. And once we get a very clarity of the whole entire NFL, but you're absolutely right. You not the Vikings win. If me personally, if I were to give a grade, I think it would be an A plus plus plus. And it's simply because I give it that high much of a grade is not only you get what's arguably, definitely a top 10 tight end, arguably top 5, depending how you see TJ Hawkinson and what he does. If you're a Lions fan or if you are a fan of the NFL, you definitely give the Vikings an A plus 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 because not only you get a wide receiver of a tight end coming to you, but you get picks as well. And not only that, you get picks, you also make a team in your division weaker in that aspect too as well. Like you just hit the trifecta of how to make a trade and how to make your own team, a team in your division, more weaker and strengthen up your team. That's weird to see. And it was just after looking at it, I'm like, wow, like that's how you trade in your own division if you want to do it and just like literally rip the Lions a new one for the way that's trade. It was just to me, I was just astounded that the Lions even considered trading to the Vikings and only receiving 2 picks, a second round pick for next year for sure, and a fourth the year after that. It's crazy. It is absolute crazy. Another weird one for me, right, guys? I don't know about you guys, but this one was weird for me in a sense of this player is currently not even playing in the NFL. So you get a lot of mixed emotions with this one. And that's Calvin Ridley getting traded to the Jaguars for a 5th and a 4th round conditional pick for 2024, but the 5th round pick is for next year. Guys, I know there's a lot of what's the word I'm trying to look for? I know there's a situation going on with Calvin Ridley and stuff with the NFL at the moment, but did the Jaguars really just steal what possibly could be one of the best wide receivers in the NFL to their team for next year? Jose.
I'm sorry. You said I could barely hear you. Say it again.
I said that the Jacksonville Jaguars just stole from the Falcons for what they got for next year.
For Calvin Ridley, I mean, time will tell. I mean, it depends on what kind of Calvin Ridley we're getting. I mean, a whole year suspended, could take a toll on anybody, to be honest. So let's see what kind of Calvin Ridley we can get. But if it's the Calvin Ridley we've seen in college, it's like the explosive, really fast threat in Calvin Ridley, then yeah, absolutely, it's another weapon for Trevor Lawrence, someone that he could throw to. You know what I mean? And that's a great thing. It's a great thing for Jacksonville. I mean, I'm surprised the Falcons were even done with him. You know what I mean? All this guy did was bet. It's not like he took steroids or anything. It's not like this guy is on domestic, hit a woman or anything like that. Let's be honest. I'm surprised the Falcons were so willing to deal him. I mean, if he would have came back, imagine having him, then on the other side Drake London, and then still Kyle Pitts. You know what I mean? And I get it's a run first offense that they have going on. Arthur Smith has a run first offense over there, but if having those 3 threats for a quarterback, I mean, come on, you know what I mean? Like you all you need is a quarterback. So I was surprised that the Falcons definitely traded him. But hey, one man's trash is another man's treasure, and Jacksonville got a good one for sure. Definitely still.
Definitely. CP, did the Falcons really get lowballed by what they received for Calvin Ridley?
Y'all can hear me, right?
Yeah.
You said that they get lowball. What did they give up again?
So basically, the Falcons received a 5th round pick for next year's draft and a conditional 4th round pick in 2024.
Oh yeah, they definitely were lowball. Calvin Ridley is a legit number 1. I mean, I guess when you miss a year, people forget what you're capable of. Just like people forgot what Hopkins was capable of with that 6-game suspension, and they let me pick him up really late in fantasy, and I've been destroying people with him since he came back. But yeah, the Jaguars they needed this. I mean, Kirk he's all right, but he's not a number 1 to me. Probably a number 2 at best, maybe number 3. But Calvin Ridley was a legit stud, and I know that he was the real Johnny Parlay, but hey, you got to take advantage, man. He's going
Nothing on Calvin Parlay, baby.
I'm gonna bet on myself too if I'm going against the Jaguars. But hey,
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Well, real.
Jaguars they really trying to help Trevor Lawrence as much as they can, and they gave him a huge boost with this one. I mean, you bring him back next year with a full year with Travis Etienne, him, Kirk, just get Lawrence a bona fide tight end, and they're trying to put weapons around him. And Calvin Ridley is definitely a steal. He was still number one before he went down. He was killing me in fantasy. So
Yep.
Definitely.
Jaguars
Right.
won that trade.
Oh
I
yeah.
felt like second or third rounder at least. For that's how good I feel he is. That I feel like they should have got at least a third rounder for him, and they got a fifth.
A fifth
Hey,
and a fourth in 2024. So, yeah, that's definitely a very low price for Calvin Ridley. I mean, we understand his situation off the field or even on the field, depending on how you want to look at it in gambling, whether if it's for himself, against his team, for his team, but it would definitely for sure win the NFL. We know what type of player he is. We've seen him in college, and we definitely saw him in the NFL turning it up throughout the years that he was playing. So yeah, and you're absolutely right, Jose. What you just said, when you have Drake London on the other side, with Kyle Pitts come down the middle as your tight end, with Calvin Ridley on the opposite side, all you need is a
Hey, hold
decent
on,
quarterback.
real quick. CP, I think your microphone is staticky or something.
huh?
We're hearing static. You hear that, Eric? It's from CP's
I hear
mic.
it a little bit, yeah.
Is my mic?
Yeah,
See,
Can you still hear it?
not anymore.
no,
You're
no,
good.
not anymore. Okay, now I came back.
Yeah, now keep it.
Hang up and call us back. How about that one? Hang up and call
Okay.
us back, CP. Doing this in the phone style, right? Old school way. But no, you're absolutely right. It just all you need is a quarterback, and we don't know what kind of quarterback they had. They did draft one this past draft. I forgot his name, Desmond something Riddler. I think it was. I think that's what his name. Something like that sounds about right. So you have a young quarterback in between there, but yeah, you're absolutely right. To let him go just like that, you're missing out on an opportunity to have a very stud offensive team. Sam goes on the Facebook comments too as well. He said, "Well, it will go back to his previous one. Say Hawkinson is a dog. Watch him shine now that he's out of Detroit. Top 5 tight end in the league, eating that's for sure, 100%. And I would give you my taste on that one right there because that one would be a really good one, depending how low that. Excuse me, how low you had to get for Calvin Ridley, and even though you're not going to get him to next year, it's still a number one wide receiver for sure for what we got. All right, we'll continue on our trades and grades here on the Jca Sports Podcast live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Guys, make sure you follow us under the Star Six Media platform on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Make sure you hit the little bell next to the Star Six Media to get notified not only when our show is on the air, but also Big League Chicago, Only Football, the show
3 up,
that's
3
going on
down.
right now in 3 Up, 3 Down with Jack, and also the EAFP, and also Sports Strip Live and the JCA Sports Podcast too as well. Now I'm gonna give a few more right here. Obviously, the Buffalo Bills traded for Naeem Hines as a running back, and they sent Zach Moss and a 6th-round pick for next year too. I think another trade that it was like, okay, we went under the radar, but it's kind of like, okay, cool. Actually, they get a decent running back behind Singletary and somebody that will make a difference with the Buffalo Bills have now Singletary. Now, this is the one where it made a little noise because it's a team that, again, same situation, ready to compete now, has a young quarterback in the pocketbooks, doesn't really have to pay that quarterback, but made major moves to help on the defensive side of the ball. And unfortunately, hopefully now we don't see him this weekend, but we probably will. And that's Bradley Chubb traded from the Broncos to the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins not only get Bradley Chubb, but they also get the 2025 5th-round draft pick. And the Dolphins send over running back Chase Edmonds, who is going to be probably like the 3rd, maybe even 4th string running back there. Their next year's 1st-round draft pick and the 4th-round draft pick in 2024. There's many questions to go around here because it affects both teams. It impacts both teams very greatly. First things first, Dolphins won this trade outright, didn't they, Jose?
For
Chubb to the Dolphins.
For the Chubb, yeah, 100%, dude. That's a definite win. One of the things that we knew Miami had a stud offense, a great offense. but their defense was lacking. They were giving up tons of points, especially when we think back to that game with the Ravens, how it was a shootout. Although they won that game, they almost lost it. So
Detroit.
Detroit, exactly. I mean, you
Wasn't
just
the Buffalo Bills game one too as well in
yeah,
the shootout too?
right. That defense needed some help, and they got big help in Chubb. I'm surprised the Broncos traded. I'm not going to lie. It's more surprising to me to the Broncos their defense was elite. Their defense is what kept them in games.
Yeah, you're absolutely
Now,
right.
now what is going to happen in Denver when you have that sus offense and Russell Wilson who's not clicking at all? I don't know what that man's doing in the middle of the field in pregame when he's just rocking back and forth. I don't know what kind of spiritual energy he's trying to channel, but it ain't working. It ain't working. It ain't working offensively, and now defensively losing a stud like that and Bradley Chubb. The Broncos are done. They're done. Miami, on the other hand, they got a lot better, man. They won this trade, and who said? I think John said it. Miami to the Super Bowl. I don't know about that, but they're definitely a lot tougher than they were before.
Yeah, an off-season CP where not only you get the fastest man alive in the NFL in Tyreek Hill, you also upgraded on the offensive line. You needed help on the defensive end of the side. You have a young quarterback on a very low salary for the next 2-3 years. Rumor has it out there today, reports are out there that Bradley Chubb might even sign for the Miami Dolphins to extend his time there after next year, or after this year, should I say, sorry. The Dolphins, are you on John's boat and saying that the Dolphins will become in the Super Bowl or will be in the Super Bowl? Or are they a serious threat to not only Buffalo, but also the Kansas City Chiefs?
I'm sorry. Bradley Chubb is great. He's awesome. But come on now. That's a reach. And that just shows you just how high powered the Bills and Chiefs are. And that Miami has Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Mike Gesicki, all these people, and they're still not up there yet. I'm sorry. I see too many issues. First of all, Tua has got to stay on the field. One gust of wind and he has a concussion. I'm scared. Like, he has to show me he can play at least 4 games in a row. And that defense, yeah. Bradley Chubb, amazing. He's a star, but is he gonna fix all the issues that they have on that defense? I saw that defense get rocked by Detroit last week. I saw it against Cincinnati. I've seen it against in Baltimore. I've seen it against a lot of teams this year, and I don't think Bradley Chubb is just going to come in and fix everything. I gotta see more from Miami. I still got them as a playoff team without question, but like I got them as like an early round exit. No way I don't see them going to the Super Bowl. Tua hasn't gotten me to that level yet. I mean, if he pulls a Joe Burrow this year, good for him, but I just don't see it. Not against the Bills or the Chiefs.
Yeah, that one was, yeah. It was just that trade kind of like threw everything off the limbs, and I'm like, okay, this is the best trade so far that we got
By
this,
far.
by for, yeah, exactly, this trade deadline right here. Not only you're getting a defensive end or outside linebacker, a pass rusher, heading from Denver to Miami. Not only you're getting that in Miami, right? Their defensive line, yes, I think they have some key names on there too as well. They just haven't really been performing. But yeah, you're competitive now. You know what the stake is, not only because of the Kansas City aspect, but also again Buffalo Bills that's in your division. You're obviously you're either going to make the playoffs because you're going to win the division, which is going to be a tough one, but they have that tiebreaker against the Buffalo Bills by beating them in Miami, and also you may face one of them two in the playoffs, and that could make the difference. Maybe not. Who knows? But for sure, you could tell that the Miami Dolphins are swinging for the fences, and they did it this offseason, and they're doing it again this trade deadline. It's a team to watch. It's a dark horse. They legitimate put themselves as a dark horse to come out of the AFC or to contend for the AFC this coming postseason, and everybody else is just watching and making these trades. Now, let's bring it back home, guys. Let's bring it back home. We went around the whole entire NFL. The more noticeable trades that happened yesterday at the trade deadline that ended at 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock Central Time here. And then we're bringing it back home here to Chicago. And the Bears made moves within the last 2 days of that Monday and that Tuesday on the trade deadline. And it set off a whole entire frenzy. We started off with Roquan Smith on Monday. He got traded to the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens sent back AJ Klein, a second round draft pick. A second round draft pick from the Ravens 2023 and a fifth round 2023 to the Chicago Bears. But before that was Robert Quinn to the Philadelphia Eagles. I was about to say the Philadelphia Eagles for a 2023 fourth round draft pick. The Bears received picks for these players, but then yesterday, Ryan Poles said on Monday that they weren't done making moves, and man, oh man, was he did not lie to us. We got Chase Claypool from the Pittsburgh Steelers, and we sent them a 2023 our pick, second round draft pick, and since they had two. All right, we're gonna go overall grade for the Bears. Overall, I'm talking about these three trades, and then we're gonna grade the Chase Claypool trade afterwards. Jose, the grade that you give for the Bears for the trade so far.
All right, I'll start off with what they gave up first. I was hoping it wasn't our second round pick, but but they gave up their second round pick. We still have Baltimore, but let's be honest, Baltimore they're going to end the season a lot better than the Pittsburgh Steelers are, right? Or the Chicago Bears are. I'm sorry, the Chicago Bears are. So, there's that. So that. But I'm not. Look, beggars can't be choosers.
You're right.
I loved the fact that we got Chase Claypool. I do. I love the fact that we and Eric. I hope you don't hate me for this, but I do love the fact that we traded away our best defensive players, because it finally seems like they're going to make offense the focal point of the future. And that is exactly what I've wanted. That's what I've said for weeks now. I wanted them to focus on this offense for our entire lives. The Bears have been known for defense and running the football. Walter Payton, Matt Forte, you name it. You name running backs. Running backs galore. And monsters of the Midway defense. The 85 Bears, the 2006 Bears, the defense. Remember that defense? 2010 Bears when they made it to the NFC Championship against the Packers. We had
2018.
Yes, 2018. We've had great defenses. We got close. When we had Mark Trestman when that year Mark Trestman, I think it was his first year with Josh McCown.
They went 8-8.
Was quarterback. We had a top 5 offense that year, but it didn't stick, right? From what it looks like, we're going back that route, and I love it. Chase Claypool is a number 2 at best. I don't think he's a legit number 1, but he's a number 1 on this team right now. He's better than Darnell Mooney. He's better than Cole Kmet. And honestly, I think what we're gonna see going forward, we're gonna see a lot more Darnell Mooney, believe it or not. I think Chase Claypool will start getting a little bit of attention, which will free up Darnell Mooney, maybe even EQ. But regardless of the fact, our offense should start clicking, and it's a beautiful thing to see, or hopefully we see.
100%. Yeah, it was a it was a trade that kind of threw us to the surprise, because we expected. As my cousin says hi, saying hi back. And obviously she said not only she's proud of us and I'm invested in sports, but she doesn't want to hear any other sports podcast other than the Jca Sports Podcast. Hey, so we know we got a fan right there, and a number 1 for sure.
Thank you, Brenda.
When I heard Pohl say, and CP, I'm gonna get to you. When I heard Pohl say that he's not done trading or doing some moves, we thought that that sounded like, oh well, shoot, David Montgomery might go. Hell, Eddie Jackson might go. Hell, maybe somebody else. Tevin Jenkins, who was on the block beginning of the season. It ended up being the Bears actually getting somebody, which was threw me in the loop for sure, and I'm pretty sure threw everybody else in the loop. But how do you feel overall what Ryan Poles did for the Bears this trade deadline, CP?
Just to piggyback on what Jose said, man, finally, finally,
Yeah,
the offense, Justin Fields matters to us. That's what I'm getting from this. Justin Fields is our guy. We're going to make it all about him, not all about the defense. Yeah, we want to have a good defense, but what is the Chiefs doing? They've made it all about Mahomes. Bills have made it all about Josh Allen. Bears are making it about Fields, and this trade shows it. I'm not going to just say it's the greatest thing in the world, but
100%.
you're right. It will take pressure off Mooney because I'm sorry, but Mooney is not a one. He played better when he was a two behind Allen Robinson. Now, I think the gap between him and Claypool is a little closer than people might think, but it definitely will take some pressure off of him. And now this is it. And I think I know why they did this move. This upcoming class of upcoming draft class doesn't have the same receivers that it had last year. It doesn't have a
Facts.
Devontae Smith and Jamar Chase like that type thing. You're not going to see that this year. I mean, honestly, I'd be surprised if a receiver goes in the first round. So I understand why the Bears made this move,
Yep.
and now you still got the 130 million in cap space, which is by far the most in the NFL. Like I had no
At this
idea
day. Yep.
the gap between them and the second place team with the second most space was like ridiculous. I think the next team has like 60 million or something. They're at 130 million cap space. You finally have a full draft of picks for the first time. It feels like whatever, like since the Khalil Mack trade. Now this is it. I don't expect the Bears to make the playoffs for the first time. It feels like this year, like since the Khalil Mack trade.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I expect them to go all in and go crazy in free agency, spend that money, draft right, and with the NFC North the way it is, because the Vikings, yeah, they're great. Packers are on the downfall. Lions will still be the Lions. This division is there for the taking if the Bears can just build a winning team, and now they have the draft picks and cap space to do it. I'm sorry. I know people like to lowball Chicago Bears, but no, I'm putting the expectations up there next year. Justin Fields has shown me enough these past few games that he can be that guy when you focus on him. So please, Chicago, I'm begging you, like, go all in this summer. You have to go in. Like if this was Kansas City or somebody else, they'd be going all in with that cap space and draft pick. So
Yeah. No. Yeah. You're
I
absolutely
expect
right.
big things from Chicago next year. No excuses. I'm sorry, I'm being hard on them.
No, I mean, you're absolutely right, and you have every right to be like that. And I think you and probably like 3, maybe 4, maybe 5, maybe 6 million Bears fans, depending not only here in the Chicagoland area, but also across the first 48. Yeah, this one actually kind of threw me in the loop, and the only reason why I think I rode the roller coaster ride of the Chase Claypool um trade. The only reason why, I mean, I was at work when I received it. All we talked about was the Bears gave up a second round pick for Chase Claypool, and I was like, all right, cool. Then to me, it was like as long as it's not our second round pick, we just got a second round pick from the Ravens. If
I
they
do
do
wish
land
it
one,
was the
that's fine. That's
Ravens
great.
pick.
Yeah, and to me, it was just like, okay, cool. I couldn't read any more of the details until I got out of work, right? And then as soon as before I got out, I seen the Calvin Ridley trade, and I'm like, damn, Calvin Ridley to the Jags. I'm like, damn, like, I wonder what the Jags, gave up for Calvin Ridley. This is where the roller coaster ride began for me. So then I
Yeah.
found out that the Chase Claypool trade was actually our second round pick. Not only is going to be a high second round pick. I'm like, damn, that sucks. After I read that, I seen the Calvin Ridley trade, and I was pissed. I'm not gonna lie, I was upset. I was really upset at the fact that even though we got a player that's further now and for the future, because we have Claypool for another year under contract, and Calvin Ridley is really just gonna wait till next year. I mean, I get that part, right? But it's kind of like, I prefer Ridley, and if that was the trade that the Jag, or that was the picks that the Jags would have given, I'm like, man, I would have done probably just 1/3, and it probably been over with, because our picks are going to be so damn high. To me, I rode that roller coaster ride, and it just bothered me for a minute or two, and then again, I came back down to earth, and I really thought about it, and then what made me even more excited was the fact that the Packers were in on Claypool, and the Steelers went on the Bears route. And to me, I'm like, you know what? it may be a high price to pay for Claypool, but anything to say fuck the Packers, I'm down for it. I really don't care what you have to do for the Packers not to be better. Do what you need to do. And then after that, I was fine. I was okay with it. They made sure that Claypool didn't go to the Green Bay. The Packers didn't get anything from anyone in this deadline. And the one player that they wanted to go, the Bears took him away from him. A win for me. That's fine by me. Hefty price to pay, but it was worth the price. Again, I rode the roller coaster ride yesterday. My emotions were high and low, but I enjoyed the trade. I'm with agreements with you guys. It's all about Justin Fields. Ryan Poles still has to prove himself that this upcoming draft class and the cap space that he has next year, he has to do work on both sides of the ball. No matter what,
it's a big test. It's a big test for Fields.
Huge test for Poles. Definitely for sure. And it got heftier the moment that you traded Roquan, and now that you have everything else, you already started with the right foot forward for getting Justin Fields. He may not be a number one wide receiver, but Claypool can prove himself here in Chicago that he could be that number one wide receiver that he was his rookie year. The Jca Sports Podcast here brought to you by the Star 6 Media platform. Guys, make sure you follow us on all our social media platforms and follow all our shows too under the Star 6 Media platform, Facebook, or under the Star 6 Media social media platforms, especially on Facebook, where we have all our shows going live. And make sure you hit the little bell next to the Star 6 Media to notify when all our shows are live. Guys, we're going to go around the association. Big news yesterday coming out of Brooklyn after their slow start. They fired Steve Nash in what some people considered shocking, but other people consider like, damn, what took them so long? I want to know what you guys think. On what side are you guys on? Are you guys on the shocking side, or are you guys on the, man, what took them so long side? I'm gonna go with CP first.
Kind of both. They are really screwing this up big time, and this is why I said I feel Brooklyn doesn't scare me, and it showed you last night when we beat them and the way we beat them. Yeah, Levine got hot, but they are just in complete disarray.
Yep.
Katie wanted you to fire Steve Nash over the summer, right? That was probably your best shot to do it. You wait until you're 7 games inside the season to say, okay, this isn't working. I mean, you could have saw that last year that it wasn't working. I mean, and I just feel like Steve Nash never really had a chance in that organization. Not with the drama that Kyrie has with him and KD trade demands. And personally, I feel like they messed this team up when they fired Kenny Atkinson and they traded for James Harden. I am one of those people that felt like they did not need to trade for James Harden. They were so much better if they would have kept Jarrett Allen and Karis LeVert and just added KD and Kyrie onto that. I think Brooklyn would have been unstoppable with that team. But you know how the NBA is. They got to make it all about stars. You got to build a super team. Everybody thinks a super team is the formula to winning. No. Look at Milwaukee and look what Giannis and Middleton did with Drew Holiday. And they're still unstoppable with just Giannis by himself. So Steve, I don't like how they handled it, but I'm not gonna lie, it was the right move. Steve Nash, he didn't really run many offensive sets, and on defense, it didn't look like he had them running anything on defense. That's why everybody scores on them so easily. So I understand why you made the move, but the move should have been made months ago when Katie asked for it.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're 100% right, CP. And this was the turbulence, the roller coaster ride. This offseason with the Brooklyn Nets. Not only that KD wanted to get traded, but if he wanted to stay, Steve Nash, like there was some stipulations for KD and everybody else for that organization to be ran very well. Jose, where are you? Are you on the shock side, or why did it took so long side for the Steve Nash firing?
No, it was why I'm on the why did it take so long side for sure. But however, it worked out for them in my book. You know, Because look who they got. They got Emi Aduku. Let's be honest. You wouldn't have gotten him had you fired Steve Nash. You would have to look for a head coach. You wouldn't have gotten him in the offseason.
City boys up.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But let's be honest. You wouldn't have acquired him in the offseason. You did it right now when he's available. Suspended from the Boston Celtics. You can say whatever you want about him.
Mm-hmm.
One thing you can't say is that he sucks as a head coach. Look what his first year last year, what he did with Boston, took him to the NBA Finals. The guy seems like he knows what he's doing. The last person that did that was Steve Kerr, and look how many championships they won, right?
Yep.
So I'm not saying he's Steve Kerr. I'm just saying the last person to do that was Steve Kerr, right? So let's see what he can do in Brooklyn. If you want to talk positivity about Brooklyn, that he's going to be a lot better as a head coach than Steve Nash is. But I agree with CP that team is in a disarray. When you have those two egos, Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, doing whatever the hell they want, literally,
they run the team.
It is a whole mess and a half, and it's translating onto the basketball court.
And to be fair, I don't think Udoka, like in Boston, he had something to work with. You had a defensive player of the year in Marcus Smart.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Robert Williams, who's willing to protect the paint at all costs. You got Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. They're going to be dedicated on the defensive end. I can't say that for Brooklyn. I don't know Kyrie and KD is going to commit on that end, even with Udoka as the coach. I just can't see any coach fixing that situation.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I mean, I don't know, right? I mean, if you're Eric and John, you believe Ben Simmons is the second coming to.
I'm sorry, I was on that train too.
Right? Yeah, you were. All three of y'all were. Y'all said him over DeMar DeRozan, and I was like, "What the hell's going on here, bro?" That definitely aged well. That definitely aged well. I'm glad I got to bring it up.
I was hoping you didn't remember.
No, I remember.
Nah, this guy's gonna remember.
It's Wednesday. It's Petty Wednesday. I remember it 100%. Okay?
Petty Wednesday. Is that even a thing?
It's going to be.
I mean, both of you guys are spot on. It was a move. I mean, the move needed to be made, right? And I know in our group text, we were saying like, man, this is probably what Brooklyn needs to step it right up. And maybe they played like crap throughout this whole entire season because they wanted Nash to be fired from the get-go before the season even started. That didn't even happen. So that's why they got off to a slow start. And for a little bit yesterday, I mean, you kind of saw that the Brooklyn Nets, we're playing with a spark yesterday against our Chicago Bulls, and they were playing pretty hard last night too as well. It's just down the stretch. We finally got to see Zach LaVine, and the contract was worth, the game that he played yesterday was worth the contract that he got over the offseason too as well. And it was great to see. I know Jose. I mean, not Jose. I'm sorry. John and I both said it. Huh?
I wouldn't say it's worth the contract. That contract's not going to be worth until he brings the championship. Let's be honest.
No, I mean, I get that.
To be honest,
no, you're absolutely right.
He got Giannis money.
Right.
Exactly. You guys are right. But, I mean, at least it's the step to the right direction because there's still question marks. I mean, for me personally, there's still question marks about giving that man that amount of money for that contract. And I'm already pissed off on how he's handling the situation with the load management and yada, 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 when the guy doesn't really deserve and really didn't do anything to deserve that load management treatment. But yesterday was proven that down the stretch, during crunch time, Zach LaVine rose up to the occasion and took his team on his back. That's all I have to say on that one. And I enjoyed seeing that. That's what I kind of want to see night in and night out when he plays. That's the Zach LaVine that I want to see. Playing and make this contract actually worth it. You're right. The end all be all is for him with this contract to bring us a championship, to this organization, and whatever AK and Eversley does to bring in to build this team. I think it would be something to wait for on that part. There's other news too as well. And I think I just seen it right now, right? The other one I seen that KD was actually shocked that Steve Nash was
no,
I think I got that report
right.
from Yahoo right now, literally just like 5 minutes ago. I think that's a bunch of Bologna. Let's just put it like that.
Horse.
His burner account was out there celebrating. What are you talking about?
Whatever, man. I want to know what
Right.
Katie's burner account really is. Like, have you guys invested or investigated for that one or no?
No, man.
Mm-mm.
God, I
It could be-
kind
it could
of
be
want to see what
anybody.
he does. Like that burner account would be so amazing to follow. I'm not gonna lie. I would enjoy that one. Hey guys, real quick, I for our sponsors, Big's Creation, they're doing a raffle for the Jca Sports Podcast. If you enter your raffle, if you follow Big's Creation on Facebook and at them at Big's Creation, you enter a raffle to give away to get one of our shirts, our JCA shirts too as well. The colors will be coming out very soon. I'm actually in conversation right now on the phone. So if you got them with there so far, they got 4 shirts to give away. So if you follow at Bix Creation, I'm putting it right now on the comment section. Jose, you got this.
I'm gonna put it I'm gonna put it as a ticker.
Cool.
Tell me
Yeah.
I spelled that right. Hold on.
It's BI. Hold on, let me see it. It's
Big.
BI 2 C's S Creations.
Yep.
Yep. So you see that ticker right there. You follow at Bix Creations. You guys were enter in a raffle, and you guys have a possibility to win
Hold
one
on,
of the
let
JCA
me
shirts.
put an S. Big's Creation.
There you go. So follow us right there too, and follow Big's Creation, who is our sponsor for our Facebook comments too as well. We like to thank them too, as we mention them every single week. Guys, make sure you follow at Big's Creation to enter a raffle to win one of our T-shirts. All right, Jose, let's break it down real quick. Do you have? I know John has his, and I think he put his on there too as well. His best bet for the weekend. What's your best bet for the weekend?
Oh no! Come to me last. Well, let's talk about John's first, real
All
quick.
right, John said, "What do you put? Did he put it on here or did he?"
Yeah, he
put,
did. He put it in the group chat.
I think
He
put it in
said,
the group chat.
yeah. You want me to get it for you?
Go ahead.
Damn, we talk a lot. Oh, he said Dolphins -5 against the Bears.
Dolphins -5. I mean, and
Dolphins.
right now that actually kind of looks pretty good, especially the acquisition. They're gonna play their hearts out there. They're gonna show us why they're one of the high-powered offense in this league, and then make a good impression for their newly acquired player in Bradley Chubb. I got it right here, and I don't know if you guys see it. I said, if Bears weather, Bears W. If no Bears weather, Bears L. So
No, look, I was with you on Monday saying that the Bears can pull up an upset, but after this trade again with Chubb, I don't think it's possible.
yeah, same here, bro.
I don't think it's possible anymore. I'm not gonna lie to you. That changed everything.
I am hoping for the Bears weather, so
No,
hopefully they
come
all
on,
play
yeah.
like crap. But man, after that trade yesterday, man, that's gonna look pretty hard for the Bears.
We
to
lost
overcome.
Roquan Smith and they got Bradley Chubb. So
Yeah.
that's now you're gonna have to outscore Miami, and that's gonna be tough.
That's gonna be tough in itself.
They
Just
couldn't
them
outscore Dallas last week.
Yeah. And I mean, look, we get it. Last week, the Bears played against probably one of the most athletic football teams in the whole entire NFL, right? Or at least in the NFC conference. But at the same time, it's kind of like they held their ground, they did their thing. This week is going to be probably a whole different animal, not only just on the defensive side of the ball, but definitely on the offense, man. Like the Bears are going to have the Bears defense. If last week was a massacre from Dak Prescott and the Cowboys offense, imagine this week with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, Gesicki. Like, how many times are we going to see this from Tyreek Hill? I mean, over under 2.5.
We're going to see it a lot.
Over and under. That should be like a parlay, or that should be like a what you would call it? What, like a bet? Like how many peace symbols are we going to see from Jalen Waddle? I mean, from Tyreek Hill on Sunday, man.
Over 3.5.
I said over. I said over and under 2.5. That's my number. That is my number. But yeah, let's go to the bets of the week. I'm always the soccer guy. You know where I'm.
Real quick, before we even get into Eric, you were the one that held us back last week. John got his right. He had Phillies +1.5. I gave you guys Seattle on the money line, and I told you that game between Seattle and the Giants were going to be under 44.5. All 3 of those came true.
Yep.
Yours, Eric, did not. So I'm the only reason why I'm bringing this up because you got to give us a winner. You got to give us a winner today, bro.
What was yours,
you
Eric?
guys.
What was
Give us.
there?
Oh, he had in the Bundesliga. I think he had Dortmund and Frankfurt in a draw. And was it Frankfurt that won 2-1
And
or
Dortmund won on the
Dortmund won?
header with like 89 on the 89th minute. Like
It was going to get. It was going to be a draw.
it was
It was
going to be
going
a
there.
draw,
Damn.
bro. Like I
It was
was
a bad
watching that
pinch.
game with pure intent. That's all I want. I'm like,
I know
damn,
that hurt.
You were
I gotta let
close.
these
You were
guys
close.
down.
That
You were
hurt.
close. But we need a winner, bro. We need a winner.
You really want a winner? I'll give
I
you
want a
guys a
winner.
winner.
Give me the winner.
So I'm gonna go. You guys know me. If you guys follow the Jca Sports Podcast or even Big League Chicago, and you guys hear me out, I always say this: I never bet for or against my teams. Like even as much crap as I talk about them, or much crap as I back them up, I personally, I cannot. I simply cannot put money on my team because my heart and my soul is already invested in it. I don't need my money because then I don't want to be triple pissed.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Right.
That's just me. But man, oh man, man, oh man, man, oh man. Guess who's going to be up at 6 a.m. on Sunday to watch Arsenal versus Chelsea and a London derby? It is one of the biggest matchups so far this week in the English Premier League. And on the money lines, if you guys have DraftKings, on the money line, Chelsea is actually the favorite because Chelsea is at home at plus 160, Arsenal at plus 175. But I'm not even going there. Where the money is at, and I know it's not a lot, right? But where the money is at, I really want to say plus over 2.5 goals for this game because both teams are going to score, and they're going to come out. They're going to come out running because Arsenal can score. Arsenal has only been held scoreless one time this year, and that was recently against PSV Eindhoven. But they have scored on every match they have played in so far this year. Chelsea likes to give up a lot of goals, especially on set pieces. I am going to go with over 2.5 goals, Chelsea versus Arsenal. That's minus 115. If you want to feel a little bit testy, I go by you at over plus 3.5. At 3.5, it's plus 215. But I'm staying at a plus minus. I've been saying it's over 2.5 goals on Sunday between Chelsea and Arsenal. Jose, what you got?
Yes. So last week I gave you guys Seattle over the Giants. I'm going to stay with Seattle, guys. I don't know what it is, but I just feel something with them, right? I get that vibe. And I'm going to give you guys Seattle over the Arizona Cardinals. They gave you good odds. They're plus 105 right now. So they have the Cardinals as a favorite. I don't see that happening. Seattle is better in almost every category. They score more points. Their defense, both defense are bad, but the Seattle's defense is much better. You know, I'm taking Seattle over Arizona, and I'm going to parlay that just like I did last week. And this time I'm giving you the over 49.5. Both teams average about 23, 24 points a game, and they give up about 25 points a game each. So I believe it's going to be a high-scoring game. I can see it going over 49.5. So I'm going to parlay the 49.5 with Seattle winning, and they're rolling, man. They're rolling in Seattle. That 12th man is real.
Yeah, that's a good pick. So again, a minus 115 for mine for the over 2.5 goals between Arsenal and Chelsea. We're gonna set it up right now, Jose. Go ahead and set it up. See what we got. CP, do you have one? You want to join in on this? Do you have one? You have a favorite one?
You said plus 1.5?
No, mine is minus 115.
Minus 115 with Arsenal and Chelsea.
Yeah, 2.5 goals.
Okay.
Over.
Minus 1.5.
Minus 2.5.
Minus 2.5.
Minus it's over 2.5 goals and it's at minus 115.
Okay, over 2.5. Got you.
Okay.
That was hard.
Sorry.
You know, this is what you get when you're trying to do live gambling. We're trying to help you guys here on the Jca Sports Podcast. We're doing the best we can, guys. If you guys have even if you guys want to join in on this, we could make something happen where we could just set up this ridiculous ass parlay for all of us coming on winning here. If you guys have the best bets too as well, put it on the link too as well. What you guys think? What's your best bet? And we'll start off there. Hell, eventually we'll make the other two guys in Jack and Rick join on this parlay too as well to see how good they are at gambling. CP, you found yours already?
I'm looking at the Rams and Bucks.
Oh, okay.
I was
Who
looking
you
at
got?
that
Money
too.
line?
Probably the Rams in an upset.
Ooh. Is it really an upset though? Like, is it really
Yeah,
like
I mean, both
they're
teams
both
are
not
awful
all
right now.
that great anyway. So is it really an upset?
But Tampa's just a little better right now, even though they're both bad. But yeah, LA in an upset over 42 and a half. I think they can get over 42 and a half.
Over
Both
42 and a half.
defenses
Oh,
are
damn,
struggling.
yeah, I guess you're right. That's probably a good one. All right, Jose, have you matched it all up?
No, I'm barely putting yours in. You said over 2.5. Where is that at? I see it right here. Got it. All right. And then what did you say? CP, you said
He said
the Rams.
over the score line, I think, right? Or you got
Yeah.
the Rams on the money line.
I got the Rams on the money line.
Rams
All right.
on the money line.
Rams on there. Let me just add that real quick.
Again, if you guys have any
All right.
gambling,
That gives us a plus 29, 2009-15. So $10 each will win us $1,166.
Yee, there you go. Hopefully they all hit. You know, again, I am up at 6 a.m. on Sunday to watch my boys play against Chelsea in the London Derby. I'm gonna have a long Sunday, that's for sure. But it's all good because I work the next day at 3:30 in the morning anyway. So let's get it going. The earlier I wake up, the earlier I fall asleep. There is no Sunday night football for me. I am gonna go me and night. And then and just give you guys a quick update if you guys are watching us or you're going back and forth with 3 up, 3 down too as well. The Astros are 3 outs away from a combining no in
I saw
game
that.
4
which
of the
is
World
wild
Series.
in the World
That's crazy,
Series.
right?
Wow, 5-0. I'm watching it right now in front of me. It's crazy for them to even be doing that. Definitely we'll be tuning in to 3 up, 3 down right after this to get the reaction for sure.
For sure. Definitely. Well, that's been the Jca Sports Podcast here on the Star 6 Media social media platform on Facebook. Guys, make sure you hit the little bell to get notified when all our shows are on.
Having me, guys. I love y'all, man.
CP, as always, we greatly appreciate you. Like I said,
as soon as you said that, there goes a no.
Nice. See, there you go. That's what you call a commentator's curse right there. That's what you call a comment.
It's Houston, so who cares?
CP, I prefer you over Johnny Parlay or over Jose anytime. You're more than welcome.
Never mind. That's Houston's batting. I'm sorry.
Okay. Oh, wow, Jose.
Again, I prefer you
over
Jose and Johnny Parlay any single time.
JCA.
No matter what, CP fits on the JCA.
Jose, Corey,
there you go.
There you go. Thank you, CP, for hopping on.
Thank you,
Jose, later, man. As for Jose, myself, Eric, John will be out there somewhere in the real world. We like to thank you guys for watching. Good luck gambling this weekend. Make sure you tune into the EAFP podcast tomorrow at 7 o'clock as we're going to go around finishing up the groups for the World Cup and also Champions League is set up for the playoffs. I'm also going to go on a little rant too as well, so you would tune in for that one. Jose, Sports Trip Live is...
Take a little hiatus this week, but we'll be back next week for sure. But however, guys, this Friday, tune in to the Illinois Media School. I will be interviewing professional wrestler Joe Alonzo Jr., a guy who right now is in the NWA, wrestled in WWE, wrestled in AEW. It's going to be a great interview. I'll definitely put it out there for you guys, but it's going to be at ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. Make sure to tune in. It's going to be a great show between myself, Alex the One, getting it done. We're going to interview Joe.
Tell Alex I said, what's up?
Absolutely. It's going to be a great show, so make sure to tune in Friday, 11 a.m., ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
Oh, I'll definitely tune in because I'll be getting out of work at that time.
Yes, sir.
But anytime. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. Good luck this week gambling. Good luck to all your teams, except if you're a Packers fan. We don't care about them at all. We will see you guys on Monday on Big League Chicago, but the Jca Sports Podcast will be on next Wednesday, same time, same place as always. And as always, Jose, hit that outro.
What a finish! Wow, that is unfreaking believable. What a way for a ball game to end.
Oh, that's what happened. Oh, that's terrible. My God. The humanity.
They may be the drunkest couple in the history of sporting events.
I loved his face.
I would suspect that fan is done for the night. Here's the thing. When you steal something, don't